Yes. Good evening, my people. How's everyone keeping? It's your boy Gumsa. I'm back on the Armoury TV. It's not a match reaction, but I'm gonna round up a little bit of the match, and then we're gonna get into some player ratings. We got Bobby who done the watch along earlier, and he done the match reaction. But I heard he missed the player ratings out, so I thought let me jump on and just do that. Just have a little say so on the match. So we're gonna get into the intro, and we're gonna get straight into it today, guys. I need a lot of interaction from you guys because I'm by myself. So, the more comments, the better. You know how we roll. But yeah, let's get into the intro and let's get into some little bit of feedback and then, yeah, some player ratings. Yes, people. Yes, people. Thank you very much for jumping in. Already seeing some guys in the comments. As I said, people keep the comments flooding with some comments because I'm by myself, so I need someone to talk to. So I want it to be you guys. So yeah, keep the comments going. Give me your scores as well. I'm gonna put some of them up. But let's just bit of match reaction. Obviously, everyone should know by now. Arsenal home game 2-1 win against Nottingham Forest. Game delayed by 30 minutes because of some turnstile problems, I believe. So yeah, we kind of started off how I expect Arsenal to start off, to be very dominated the ball, looked very comfortable, and then we almost went 1-0 down. Headed the clearance, I think from Saliba, got headed back in, and we got caught on our heels. And Brennan Johnson ran in behind him. If anyone knows Johnson, he's quick, but he fluffed the shot. Ramsdale made himself nice and big, fluffed the shot, and yeah, we kind of stayed 0-0. Then my guy Eddie Nketiah steps in, good work by Martinelli. And then Nketiah with a good finish, and then Saka with an unbelievable goal. Makes it 2-0, cruising at halftime. I'm thinking, right, let's go and get three, fours, and maybe five. Um, but we didn't really step on the gas second half. Obviously, Timber got injured, looked a bad one. No one around him. He's turned and his knee went. You can see he had a bit of problems. He got a knock in the first half from his tackle. Um, and from there, yeah, he came off. Tomiyasu came on. Um, And then yeah, it's much of the same. Dominated the ball, had a couple of chances, couldn't get the third, and then in typical Arsenal fashion, got caught on the counter, 2-1, and it's squeaky bum time. But the boys dug deep. We got over the line, um, got the 2-1 win. End of the season, no one's going to look back at the first game and think, yeah, we should have won 3-0 or 4-0. The fact of the matter is, it's 3 points on the table, 3 points on the board. We're 11 on points for City. And yeah, we go again. So yeah, obviously I'm going to jump through some comments quickly, and then we'll get into some player ratings. And we'll talk about the starting 11 Arteta as well. So big up Silver Fox, he's in the building. Big up Tony as well. Big up Luke. And Tony's saying he's a Arteta fan, but worried him today when he said dropping Gabriel was tactical. His experiment could cost him, and more than that, us. I don't know how much experiment it was because there was talk from before that Gabriel wasn't in the squad. Um, so I'm not too sure if it was tactical or if Gabriel did have a little issue, but not enough to kind of keep him out of the squad, but enough to make him not start. I think they said it's 70 something games Gabriel started in a row in the Premier League. So I can't imagine Arteta dropping him for the first game of the season. And especially with something you haven't worked on in pre-season or anything like that. So you never know what it was. But there are definite reports coming out before coming out yesterday that Gabriel wasn't going to be playing. Tony done a poll on Twitter of who should start in centre back. I don't think anyone had Partey starting right back and Ben White starting centre back as such. So yeah, I think maybe it was forced upon us. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of rotation this year, and I think the boys coming in have got to step up, regardless of what they're asked to do. We can't afford to be dropping points. So yeah, I think that was my only take. Someone thinks it's something different. If someone thinks it was more tactical why Gabriel didn't start, then hey. But again, I think tactically we was good. I think we just got caught sloppy. And my main concern is we're not scoring enough. For the amount of possession we have. yeah, we didn't score. Yeah, again, 2 goals isn't enough. So yeah. Okay, we're gonna. Anyone else throw some comments in with the starting 11? Um, I feel the starting 11. Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to see Partey at right back. I'll be honest. But I think it was a way of just getting in Havertz and getting in Rice. I think it was quite an offensive 11, considering 'cause obviously Kirill would have been the easy option. Gabriel being out or Tierney coming in. I'm not sure why he wasn't in the squad. But you went with Partey. I think Partey had a really good game. Apart from defensively, sometimes him one on one against some quicker players was not nice to watch. He's fast Partey, but he doesn't have that turner pace. Like if someone's twisting and turning, he doesn't cover ground very well in that sense. So yeah, a couple of times he got beat, and Saka done unbelievable. One or two of them for getting back. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock with Partey, but I expect to see Gabriel back in there next game, and then yeah, well, see what happens with Timber now. But I expect Ben White to be back right back. So it'd just be interesting to see if Tomiyasu starts left back next game, or is Shinchenko anywhere near fit, or does Tierney kind of stay and start? We'll see. We'll see. Um, Tony said he said it was in his press conference. Yeah, it's Arteta, and he never really gives a full story. He's always something. You never know. You never know. But again, only reason I think it was maybe um, was injury because it came out yesterday with Gabriel not playing. Which yeah, who would kind of predict that if you didn't know something? So maybe he wasn't in training yesterday. Maybe the photos come out he wasn't in training or he wasn't spotted. So that's why the report came out he wasn't going to play. Because I would everyone not to play. Gabriel will probably be one of the last people you'd think wouldn't be starting the game. Him, Saliba, um, kind of our mainstay unless it's fitness issue. Even Odegaard, you would expect to get rested at some stage. But yeah, Gabriel and Saliba are kind of a sure bet to start most games, aren't they? So, but yeah, regardless, the rest of the 11, I said, I think it was quite offensive. He easily could have gone with Havertz up front again, and do you know what I mean? Put Tomiyasu in defence and Partey and Rice stay together with Odegaard, but he went with the Rice, Odegaard, and Havertz midfield, and it looked pretty good. I was quite impressed with it. Yeah, I think for me, Havertz done all right. I think he could have just been a bit more energetic with some of his final third runs, or when he does get behind, because he actually gets behind quite a bit and gets the ball. But he kind of slows it down, wait for kind of the game to build up around him again. He keeps possession well. Again at 2-0, maybe he wasn't thinking to push, but for me, yeah, I just want to see a bit more, yeah, a bit more energy going forward when he's on the ball. Across the pond saying Partey did okay there. He comes, I think he's talking about when he was getting beat one on one. There was two in the first half where, yeah, someone just pushed the ball on him and was off. But we have a lot of the ball, and on the ball, Partey was brilliant today, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Linked up well, started a lot of attacks as usual. Again, he played in centre midfield most of it, in all honesty. So yeah, Tony saying, do you think we lack pace at right back like a Carl Walker? There's not many who have pace like Carl Walker, in all honesty, but we do lack a bit of pace at right back. I do feel. Obviously Ben White's not a natural out there, um, and yeah, obviously Tomiyasu's not the fastest either. So yeah, we do lack a little bit of pace at right back. Yeah, I think if you look at our defense at the moment, it's quite solid, isn't it? Like Zinchenko is not a natural centre back, but it's the four. It's not a centre back. Sorry, Zinchenko is not a natural kind of left back how he plays. Do you know, he plays in the middle, but all our centre backs are quite they're big and strong. They're almost centre backs. He said Timber can play centre, or is a natural centre back. Tomiyasu centre back can play. Ben White's a centre back. So all our fullbacks are quite solid and um, again very good at playing inside. So I think it helps with our rotation, but we do lack that bit of killer pace. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Across the pond, saying Rice getting more and more comfortable. Yeah, he looked a lot better today. He looked really good today. Um, yeah, and he unlucky. He had a good couple of strikes as well. So yeah, very unlucky. Not to get on the score sheet today. Hit the post with one. Um, who else? Sorry, there's loads of comments coming through. Loads of comments. To see this with the silver one saying that's my concern too, Gums. I think this is in relation to me saying we didn't score enough. We didn't really go and kill the game off. Matt Turner was decent. He made some good saves, to be fair to him. But he had no chance with Saka's, did he? Uh, and we say I think today there were some issues defensively with players out of position and communication not being great. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I just said I don't think they really troubled us apart from the one header at the start, which put in Brennan Johnson. They had a couple of half shots from outside the box, and Ramsdale looked like he was scrambling on one or two, but in all honesty, we looked quite comfortable. Hope Gabby okay, who's Jesus and Magales and Martinelli some brilliance. Yeah. I don't know how much you meant of that little back heel flick, Martinelli, but it worked out. If I'm him, I'm saying I meant to do it. And yeah, happy for Nketiah. Someone else said they're happy for Nketiah too. And everyone knows my thoughts on that kid, even though he wasn't in my starting 11 this week. I would have gone with the Havertz. This is obviously before I knew about Gabriel, but even then, I probably wouldn't have gone with Eddie. I probably would have still kept Havertz up top and started Tomiyasu. Silverman saying the same thing. He's glad that he scored, and I think since Silver Fox went to the Emirates, yeah, he's become he's on the Nketiah fan club with me. So yeah, Nketiah does what he does when he starts. I think they said he started 18 games last year and scored 9, so he has an average of one goal every 2 games he starts. So he started off really well, and hope for more of the same. And what's nice is we got options. We got a lot of options. You saw in the game one stage where we brought on Gabriel, then Havertz went up front, and we went with kind of a Rice and Partey midfield or Odegaard. So yeah, we've got a lot of options, uh, and that's where their goal came from. Usain Bolt against Mo Farah. Yeah, they caught us on the break. They were quick. Elanga was rapid, and I think it was Saka who was trying to track him back, but Saka already got through like 80 minutes worth of football. Elanga is rapid. So yeah, that's where we got caught, and then yeah, a bit of movement from the striker, good movement as well. And I'm just quite glad he didn't start. To be fair, because he is a handful. He's a strong boy. He's a difficult striker to play against, so it kind of worked in our favour. First game of the season, he hasn't had a proper preseason for what the commentators were saying, and I think that helped us out. Uh, so Luke said the diagonal ball attacking the space left when Partey, I think, would have been exploited by better teams, but hopefully we won't play this way against those teams. It's just causes. It's same thing can be said when Zinchenko has to invert, and do you know what I mean? Every team's going to set up a way to try and combat us. Everything has its pros and cons. So we've seen it with Zinchenko. There's pros to him inverting as a left back, and there's cons to it. Sometimes we get caught at that side, and he's tucked in, and there's a lot of space around the back. So yeah, there's always going to be some faults of our system, and I think we are quite neat. I could hold my hands up on the first one. I'm really nitty picky sometimes. So yeah, it's just one of them things. On a whole, yes, there's got to be issues if Partey does play right back against some wingers. But again, will we see it much more? Not hopefully not. As I said, Saliba and Gabriel are normally quite solid. They normally, I think Gabriel, as I said, hasn't missed a Premier League game in. I think he played the whole of last season, started every game last year, and going into the season before. So yeah, I can't see it being much of a problem. And regardless, we got the win, and let's build from there. Um, Anyone else got some takes on the new boys? Let us know. Hopefully Timber's okay. Big up Brenny. Hope you're well. Yeah, this is nice again to start the first game of the season with a win. But let's get through some player ratings and we can elaborate on some players as we're going through it. Um, Tony saying, Gums, I'm a positive person. Partey at right back. The computer says no. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm a long time I wouldn't see it as an option. But I can't say Partey had a bad game. I think that's where we're coming from. Yes, it would have been easier to play Tomiyasu. But I can't say Partey was bad. But yeah, I wouldn't want to see that against Man City or even Man United. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool wouldn't want to see Partey there, put him in his natural position. Um, but yeah, let's go on. Anyway, let's get into Ramsdale. First and foremost, man, like Ramsdale, pretty comfortable game. Do you know what I mean? Couldn't do nothing really about the goal. Kicking was okay. He got caught on the ball once. I think he was just trying to find the pass, delayed it a second, and got caught. But pretty comfortable afternoon for him. So I'll give him a standard 7. Don't think he done anything outstanding, but again, didn't really have much to do. So Silver's saying he gets a 6. And obviously, Rare was in the stadium again, and he'll be starting. Well, he'll be in the squad for the next game. So we'll see. I can imagine Ramsdale's going to start for a few more weeks. I think we'll see Rare in cup competitions, including Champions League, and then after that, maybe there may be a switch over if Red hits the ground running, but time will tell. Tony Fulbert saying Ramsdale's a 7 for turning up. one thing I do like, I don't know if you lot heard Ramsdale's comments earlier in the week where he's saying he's dislodged keepers. He's been a new guy coming into clubs, and he's not delusional to think that he will never be in that position where someone's coming to take his shirt as such. That shows what he said. So he's ready to fight, and I love that attitude from him. Let's move into Timber. Another solid display. Unfortunate, like the tackle he got booked for was looked a bit clumsy, a bit late. Um, he come off the worst of it, and then obviously you saw the second half from nowhere. He's just running back and in turn, and he went down, clutching kind of behind his knee, on top of the calf. So I'm hoping it's more calf than knee, but we don't know. I don't know if anyone's had any updates. If you have, please share that, and I'll read it out. But up to that point, again, I think it was a good a game as what we saw from him last week, but I think it was because he was not asking to invert this week, so he had less kind of attacking option kind of things to do. He was more the third centre back. Um, so and Partey had the role of inverting. So obviously Partey saw a lot more of the ball in those kind of areas where he can influence the game. However, Timble's solid, no issues at all. I think we've signed a very, very good player there, and hopefully he'll be back very soon. So I'm going to agree with Tony Fulbrook and the Silver Fox. I'm going to give Timber a 7. Um, Centre back, Ben White. Yeah, I think he's done well. I was watching a bit of the first half on my phone, in all honesty. So the one chance they had, I don't know whose fault it was. Him and Saliba seemed like they got caught square. Um, but apart from that, Ben White looked good. Obviously, went back out to right back later on in the game when we made some changes and just looked comfortable there again as usual. So yeah, Ben White for me would get a 7. Saliba, I'm gonna give him an 8. And Mossa across the pond is agreeing with me. Ben Fulbrook, Tony Fulbrook is saying Ben White 6, and let me know why he got a 6 because I can't see why he would get a 6 in that. But Saliba 8, and I'm only going to give him more of the 8 today. He's always calm and collective on the ball and good. Like he's a great player, but we haven't really seen him without Gabriel. So it's interesting to see how he played without Gabriel. And he done well. He led the back line. So yeah, he get 8 for me. I think what's interesting to see as well. Maybe this is more to do with it. Someone said something the other week about inverting from the right, and it would mean Gabriel plays as the central defender. Um, and I've said I think he could do it, but obviously we normally see Saliba in the middle of the three. And again today, Ben White played on the left of the in defence, which then sorry he played on the right, sorry, which then still meant Saliba was in the middle. So I don't know if that was the reason why Partey played right back. So it still left Saliba as the central defender when we invert to a three. Um, and that may be the reason. Who knows? But Saliba just kind of sits in the middle of it. He leads it so well, and he's so classy. I think some of you are being a bit harsh for Ben White at 6.5. Remember, he hasn't played centre back in a long, long time. But yeah, so it's another 6.5 there. But yeah, Saliba got an 8, and I'll give Ben White a 7. We're moving to the midfield, and we start with the guy at the bottom of the midfield, and that is Declan Rice. I think he was good today. For me was his better. Well, have I not scored Partey? Oh, sorry, I haven't scored Partey. Yeah, I'm gonna give Partey an 8 as well. Playing out of position, he dominated the game from start to finish. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm gonna give him an 8 as well. Silver, I agree with you. Um, and let's move into Declan Rice. I'm not going to speak much on Partey because we spoke about him earlier playing right back, and yeah, again, apart from those two little things where the player ripped him up and went, apart from that, he was brilliant. And yeah, he's just so comfortable on the ball anywhere on the pitch. He just plays good football. Um, so where do we get to? Declan Rice, I'm gonna give him an 8. I think this is his best performance in the Arsenal shirt. Um, quality player. You see him coming to life when he went. He's nice, quite high in some of his play. And then when Partey obviously came in and sat next to him, he then got a bit more license, and he was unlucky not to score. Really unlucky not to score. Silver Fox is saying Rice had 3 shots on target, 92% successful passes, and he gets an 8. So yeah, I'm with that. I'm with an 8 for Rice. Havertz, I'll give a 7. I think just do a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a bit more intensity. But you can see what he's doing. You can see why he's been brought in to play this role. Again, looks very comfortable on the ball. Doesn't look out of place, and Yeah, he looks like he settled in pretty well. And Odegaard, I'm gonna give him a Moss has gone for an 8. I'm gonna go 7 for Odegaard. I think he was good. He was very tidy, but yeah, maybe a bit more end product. He had a good couple of shots. One just hit the top of the net. Yeah, he was good, but yeah, just didn't really get any of them killer passes through that we're so used to seeing from him. So I'll give him a 7 with Havertz. I do think he was better than Havertz, but I'm basing it on for him um, and what I expect from him. So he'll get a 7. I definitely think Rice was the standout out of the three. Let's move into the attacking three. So yeah, totally saying Odegaard's a 7. I don't feel as bad now. We'll start with Martinelli. I give him an 8. He got an assist, even if he didn't mean it. He got an assist. He worked hard. What I do love about our wingers is they track back. That like some of the times he was tracking back was ridiculous today. For all the quality going forward, they don't forget the defensive work. So I love that from him. He was definitely a bit quieter than Saka, um, but I could give him the benefit of doubt with the assist. It came at a good time, so he gets an 8. Tony's given Havertz 8 as well. On the other side, the star boy, um, Bukayo Saka. I can't speak high enough of this guy. He's unbelievable. We're going to keep it short and sweet for him. He gets a 9. Do you know, it was really a real good battle down there with Aina, the new signing. I think he used to play for Chelsea. He went to Torino. He's come back playing for Forest. He had a good game, to be fair. He actually done very well against Saka, but even with that, Saka still is the man of the match. Going forward, unbelievable. Again, creates so much problems. Even when you double up on him, he was getting through. Scored an absolute worldie. Yeah, beautiful goal. And defensively, again, he just tracks back. He just don't stop. Like he's unreal. And yeah, I can see why it's hard for us to buy a right winger because whoever comes in knows they're playing 15 minutes a match if they're lucky, and then you get the Carabao Cup. But apart from that, Saka's starting 30 of the 38 games this season. So yeah, he's just a joy to watch. He's yeah. Again, we could talk about Saka do you know what I mean? All day. He's just a quality player. And he scores a 9 from me, and he's my man of the match. Silver Flocks, he's saying his man of the match as well. And Moss from across the pond is saying Saka man of the match. So I don't think anyone's gonna. Oh wait, hold on. Someone is gonna dispute it. Saka scored a beauty, but was it more than a 7.5? Yeah, I have to disagree with you. Even if he didn't get any other assists or anything like that, he's constant. He's a constant threat. He gets us up the pitch, and when he picks up the ball, teams have to back off, and it makes such a difference. He's you see the difference when Saka doesn't play. Like you see, we don't look like we have much of a threat. So yeah, that's why he gets a 9 from me. Eddie did good, faded second half a bit, but a good solid 8. Yeah, I think he deserves an 8. Silver Fox is going a 9. He's saying he must stay. Silver Fox, I'm loving this man. Silver Fox, he's given up the rope holding fan club and he's joined the Nketiah fan club. Mr. Fulbrook says Nketiah 7. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with 8. I'm not gonna argue with your 7. I think in between the 7 and 8. You didn't really do enough to say 8, but I feel first game of the season scored an important goal, led the line well. He looked after the ball as well when it come into him. But so I'll be nice. First game of the season, I'll be generous. Um, yeah, give him a 7. I give him a 7.5 to an 8. We don't really do half scores here on the Armoury, so we go over 8. Moss is saying keep feeding Saka, then either Odegaard or Martinelli get wide and open spaces. Yeah, it's nice to watch. It's nice to watch. Um, right, who else come off the bench? Trying to think. Tommy Asu was first one, wasn't he? Tommy Asu first one off the bench. I think he had a solid game actually. Defensively done well. Set pieces defended well. Got in once as well. I think he could have maybe took a touch and gone for goal himself, but he squared it. But yeah, it's nice to see coming back to some of what we saw of him when he first came to Arsenal. Um, because yeah, he is a quality player, and I think some of the he had a bad year last year. Let's just put it that way. He came back from injury, didn't look the same. City game looked like it killed all his confidence. So good to see him actually have a solid game. So I'll give him a 7 as well. Everyone is saying a solid 7 across the board for Tommy. Trossard was the next one to come on. Um, yeah, I think everyone's been calling for him to start, and it's been a little unfortunate he doesn't start more games in all honesty. But yeah, he was nice and tidy today, but didn't do anything exceptional to make me feel why Martinelli should be getting dropped. Um, so yeah, he's hmm, I don't want to score him less than a 7 in all honesty. Um, so yeah, he gets 7, but let's see. Um, just going to give you an update. 6-6 goal, Leipzig 2-0 on Bayern. It looks like the curse of Harry Kane is moving to Bayern Munich. Looks like Danny Olmo. I know he scored the first goal. Sounds like he scored the second. So 2-0 to Leipzig against Bayern Munich and Harry Kane. Could you imagine? Should have got. I thought he was going to get a trophy the first day he left Tottenham. I couldn't wait to banter some of the Spurs fans, but looks like it could be going wrong. Silverman saying Trossard had so much energy, but yeah, no, I said Trossard. I think he played well, but yeah, I'll give him a 7. Don't think he could get really more than a 7. And the last one, Gabriel came on just to shore up things. Obviously, Partey went back into the midfield. Gabriel went back in the centre back position. Ben White went out to the right. Yeah, he was solid. Just made sure we saw the game through. So I'll give him a 6 just because he wasn't on for long. So yeah, 6 from him. And that's it for the outfield players. I don't think there was any more subs. Special mention to El Nene. If you see when Timber goes off with the injury, El Nene follows him down the tunnel. So it just shows you what kind of player we've got there. And some of these players, like just real squad players, and El Nene going to look after him, just means a lot, I think, to some of these younger players. We have got a young squad, so having those players there to come and, you know what I mean, put an arm around each other and stuff is important. So, um, yeah, I give him I give El Nene a 6 as well. Let's get on to the gaffer. A lot of you have got things to say. People aren't happy with Partey. Silver Fox is giving him a 5. I think that's harsh. Um, give me your scores. For me, Arteta would get a 7. I'm not going to put our lack of attacking prowess in the second half on Arteta. I think everything was right with the setup. We dominated the game. Partey at right back. Yes, we could have maybe put Tomiyasu there, but I don't think Partey was a major issue. We played good football. We dominated possession. And that's where we need the cutting thrust. Sometimes the individual players to, do you know what I mean, do a little more. I can't imagine it's Arteta going out and saying, right, we're 2-0 up, sit back and defend this lead out. I can't imagine that's him saying it. So yeah, I won't be as harsh and give him as low a mark as Silver Fox is giving him. Moss is saying 6.75. Arteta is saying 6. He doesn't like the experimenting, just get Partey and Rice together. He needs to stop being Pep. I don't think, well, again, I don't think this had any bearing on the result. I don't think, yeah, I think we got caught on the counter. I think the lack of killer instinct's more of an issue. I don't think Partey playing right back. It's easy to sit there and say, oh, Partey playing right back's the reason why we struggled, like, or we didn't score more than 2 goals. I don't think that's the issue. And I think we do need to find another way sometimes. We can't. Partey and Rice is cool, but when teams are sitting in and defending deep, I think we need to be able to use Havertz or Smith Rowe in these games to kind of open up the game and make some space. So yeah, I think there will be times we won't see Rice and Partey together, and I'm not mad at it. Whichever one starts, I'm not really fussed at. Especially when Zinchenko is back in, then I think we can allow Partey to get some rest and play. I mean, Declan Rice as the lone 6 because what's his name? Because Zinchenko is so good on the invert. So um, yeah, he's saying I just said that Gumsa Partey is too slow. And if you're talking about the goal, again, it's from our corner. So I don't even think Partey has any bearing on that, in all honesty. I'll watch it again just because I might have missed something, Tony, in all honesty. But I think we've just been caught on the counter, regardless who plays in there. Like, unless again, like you're saying, there's Kyle Walker or Martinelli tracking back, maybe you stand a chance. But even Saka, as quick as he is, couldn't catch up with Elanga. And that's just the fact we're on the corner and our positioning from the corner. So again, I'm not going to put that on Partey. I think he's a big reason why we dominated that game. Yes, he played right back, but again, it's yeah. Again, I can't just put it on one thing. End of the day, we got the win. I'm not going to over criticize Arteta. Um, yeah, I agree with you. In the first half, he did get caught with 1 or 2, but you know, I'm not going to hold it. Nothing come from them. So I'm I'm not going to mark Arteta down for that. End of the day, we got the win. We looked comfortable. We weren't a snatch and grab or like we were absolutely battered and we just nicked it. We absolutely dominated that game. And on another day, Turner doesn't make some of them saves. We're comfortable winners. So I'm not going to score Arteta too badly. And again, some of the substitutions I would have liked to see Smith Rowe. I saw Nelson was on the bench, but I think once the game went 2-1, it's very difficult to get those guys on. So I'm not mad at it. We saw the game out. Let's move on to the next one. Fans get a 10. Tony, if this is you being nice, I would hate to see when you're not. I'll be honest. I look forward to some of your rants later on in the season. If this is you being nice, but again, you're entitled to your opinion. This is why we love what we do. Everyone has a different opinion. Everyone sees it differently. And I'm not mad at what you're saying. Again, against another team, against a better opposition, saying not being disrespectful to Forest, it could have really punished us. And I do agree with that. And sometimes we do try and experiment sometimes at the wrong time, and it can catch us. But again, when we do win, I'm just going to say, yeah, cool, we done it. It worked. We won the game. Let's move on. Again, if it was a game where we didn't dominate the ball and we just nicked it 2-1, I'd be like, it was a bad experiment. But regardless, we played right back today. We dominated that game. Someone could pull up the possession stats. I might try and find it for you. Yeah, let's get the stats up because I think that'll put things in perspective a bit more. In all honesty, because yeah, we did dominate that game and 2-1 flatters Forest a lot more than, do you know what I mean? Their actual game was. So they would have come out of there looking at 2-1 happy as Larry with that because it was not a 2-1 game. And we've allowed them back in by not killing the game off. So let me put up the stats. We had 7 shots on target to their 2. We both had 3 shots off targets. We had 5 shots blocked. We had 82% possession. They had 18. And this is what I'm saying. It's like for that amount of possession, we're not creating enough really. Like 82% possession, we had 10 shots in all, 7 on target, 3 off target. And that's not a right back problem. That's ahead of the midfield, including midfield. So I'm not looking at Partey as the problem in this game at all. Yeah, it's we need to score more. And then you look down the road, and I think this is why Havertz has been brought in to support with that. Obviously, didn't get on the score sheet or create much today, so I'm expecting a bit more from him. Everyone knows I've been critical of Saka in the 8, just because I think we could get more attacking players in that position. Again, people I called was like a Gibbs White, who I think was quite quiet today, but he shows at moments what he's got in the locker. But with Newcastle scoring 5 against a tough Villa team, this is what I think a lot of us maybe can get frustrated with this Arsenal team for all the quality we got, all the possession. We're not scoring enough. And to see Newcastle put 5 past Villa, who are a good team, Armoury's got them playing good football, and they were a difficult team to break down last year. Newcastle put 5 past them, so it shows the attacking intent they're working with, and they haven't got as good players as us. Let's be realistic. So this is where we need to get better. You're saying we love Partey. Yeah, we do. I'm not gonna lie, I do love Partey. I think people underestimate the work he gets through, and how he keeps things ticking for us. Again, everyone looks at football differently, and for me, he's an important, a massive, major part of our system. And when he has a bad game, generally Arsenal have a bad game. And this is the problem we've got. And I hope Declan Rice can fill that problem when he's not playing well. We can take him out and we don't drop the standard. With Jorginho, football-wise, he's really good, but power and pace, he lacks a little bit. So, yeah, I am a fan of Partey. And again, regardless of Partey's performance today, like, I get why people are saying why we're starting him at right back because he can't do some of the things. So I get that. But yeah, again, against another team, maybe we don't try these things. Who knows? King's Football Show, big up. Yeah, big up yourself as well. And Tony saying we don't kill teams. And this is my biggest problem with Arsenal. We don't. I watched Liverpool for a few years. 2-0 at half time, they're hitting 4s and 5s partially. They're ruthless. Man City are ruthless. Newcastle today showed a ruthlessness. We just don't have it. And I think this is why people are saying maybe we need another striker. This is why people are so critical of some of our attacking players because we just don't seem to kill teams, and we can't always rely on our back line to keep a clean sheet. And we saw it towards the end of last season. We started to concede to in. These were the big games. These were the problems. Look at West Ham. You look at Liverpool when we're in the lead and we keep conceding, but actually we were blaming the defense. But actually, the strikers scored a bit more. then the defense might let a goal in, but it doesn't kill it, doesn't affect us. And King's football saying our defensive structure worries me more than the personnel. And yeah, again, that's could be a problem. You look at the chance they missed with Brendan Johnson. Again, this is not a Partey fault. This is a header that's come from midfield and they just headed it straight back over, and we've got caught square. And those are the things. This is how United were getting in against us, that all over the top. But yeah, these are the things for Arteta to work out. Um, and he doesn't believe it's Arteta's fault, it's the player. And I do agree, the players have to take more responsibility on going to kill games off. Arteta gives them the system, but I think we have ways of playing. And Arteta said if we're managing the game, this is how we do it. However, I don't reckon he chooses the times where we start just keeping the ball and don't attack. We need to be a bit more ruthless. Um, because yeah, once 2-1's a dangerous position. It's what's the scariest position in football is 2-0, they say, because it's that stick or twist. Do I go for another or do we hold? And notoriously, over a long period of time, Arsenal haven't been good at holding on to leads. So I'd much rather us go and kill some games off. And I like to see goals. So yeah, I want to see more. So hopefully we can improve on that and we can start going for the kill, and really hurting these teams when we have them on the back foot rather than letting them grow back into the game and grow in confidence. Um, and fans today, we give you a 10. I'm not sure what happened with the getting into the stadium. I was looking at buying a ticket the other day. I saw it was £100 for a ticket, but then my son had football, so I said, "Oh, do you know, I'll put him first." And I'm glad I didn't go to stand up in them queues because they look crazy. I'd have been stressing out. But big up everyone who attended the game. Fans, as always, loud in full voice. It looked like a lovely game to be at. But yeah, again, just a bit of squeaky bum at the end as we let the goal in. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, he's saying FPL is saying 75% chance Timber can play and says it's his knee. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. Then we're hoping it's not too bad. Um, and Tony said it's our first game, so despite my worries, I'm happy and we will get better. And that's it. It's you've got to shake off the rust. Then you got to get used to playing back at the Premiership level. As much as you do a pre-season, it can't replicate the Premier League or competitive football. So yeah, it's important we just keep winning, get off to a good start like we did last year, win those first few games and build from there. So yeah, guys, on that note, I'm gonna have to tune out. Thank you everybody who's been in the comments. You've kept this stream flowing. I've been by myself, but yeah, you lot have just kept it ticking over nicely for me. So I really do appreciate that. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of content coming this week. Big up Tony, big up Bobby. The man are always working behind the scenes doing something. So I'm pretty sure there'll be some more big shows next week. Hopefully, there's some incoming news. Obviously, Ray is meant to be very close. Will we get anybody else in? Um, and sorry, I just jumped to a few more comments. Sorry, guys. We got a long wait until we play Palace, so lots of work to be done. When is our next game? July? I haven't even checked, to be fair. Um, is it a week away, 2 weeks away? Talk to me, Tony. Talk to me. Um, and King's Football Show, I do think we must improve in defence more than attack. We scored 88 goals, scored more than ever, but we are so sloppy at the back. That's quite mad to think we scored 88 goals last year and we didn't. I'm trying to think what games we really did kill. And again, you look at some games where we're thinking what we 4-3s and stuff like that. So we are conceding maybe more. As much as Saliba and Gabriel have been really good for us, maybe we are conceding too many goals. And maybe this is why we don't go off and try and kill, because if we get caught, we could concede. So there's definitely a little imbalance somewhere. I didn't realize we scored 88 last year. It's a good return. I know we shared them out, but that's a really good return, to be fair. Yeah, big up Tony. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate you being in the comments because you bring in lots of talking points, which enables me to go on for so long. So yeah, really appreciate you. So a week on Monday, our game is okay. So yeah, we got a bit of a rest. So hopefully, again, that gives Timber time to get back in. And yeah, we go on from there. And again, hopefully Gabriel's fully fit by then. We see Shinchenko a few more days. He must be near coming back. But we're almost back to full strength. And Moss, I need a nap. 4:30 a.m. was way too early. Bro, I don't know how you lot do it, honestly. Big up, my guys from across the pond, Canadians, Americans. I respect it. After preseason, trying to get up for that Barcelona game, I said I can't do this every week. So yeah, honestly, you lot, I've got the utmost respect for you guys. Because yeah, it can't be easy being an Arsenal fan and the time difference and what time you have to wake up to watch matches. So you lot get my respect. You honestly do. Um, And yeah, Palace we must beat them. Yeah, we got to start off strong. We got to go 3, 4, 5 games on the bounce, 5 wins in a row like last year, and build from there. But guys, on that note, I'm gonna sign out. If you don't keep throwing comments in, I'm gonna keep talking. So I'll need to get out of here. But yeah, make sure if you're catching this show on the rewatch, make sure you drop some comments in. I will jump back in later and answer any kind of comments you lot have in there. I'll be here to argue with you lot as well about Partey. Leave my guy alone. Big up Eddie and Ketia as well. And again, a lot of people were calling for him in the Charity Shield game where Havertz started, and he's, do you know what I mean? He's justified people actually wanting him to start again by scoring another goal. So the argument of he scores more than Havertz, yeah, he's come in, he had one chance and he scored it. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Havertz missed a couple against City, and Ketia comes in and scores. So, yeah, do you know what I mean? The nice thing is we've got options. We've got people in places where it actually doesn't matter who starts. We're getting the job done. We're scoring goals and stuff like that. So, yeah, big up Nketiah, big up Havertz, big up the rest of the guys. Honestly, it's lovely being an Arsenal fan at the moment. I'm just enjoying the ride still. So yeah, guys, on that note, big up Silver Fox as well. Love you as always, and we're gonna catch you midweek.